And we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Live Reality Game Shows podcast, where today we are recapping the third episode of Survivor Syracuse Heroes vs. Villains, episode 3. With me once again is Syracuse season 3 and 4 player Madison, as well as season 1, 4, and recent boot tiers, Paul Levine, or as he will now be known as Paul Snakebean.
Oh my god, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm also, and I know I said Madison, aka, oh fuck, I forgot the name. Big Wendy,
Big
aka
Wendy.
Alfred with the egg. I immediately forgot what.
That's true.
And Tatiana.
Yeah, I have
Tatiana.
multiple titles. I almost brought her back, but
If you're wondering what I'm referencing, it's this in my background, the Survivor Syracuse charity mini. Yesterday, Survivor Syracuse hosted a mini charity stream for ALS, the sad disease that took, unfortunately, Jonathan Penner's wife. If you would, the donations is still open. You can check the link below to go to the stream and help donate. It's still open till the end of the week, so if you have the money or just share it with your friends, I'm sure that would be very appreciated. It's just we lie for charity.
yes, it's for a good cause.
Yeah. It's for charity.
Yes.
So you
You
are
can Venmo at Syrvivor, SYRVIVOR -charity if you would like to make a donation. We're open for the rest of the week.
yeah. And if you just want to see like a fun 9-hour Survivor game, that's also there as well.
Absolutely.
You might even see some familiar faces from not only Syracuse, but a bunch of other college survivors.
Absolutely.
So, first off, Paul, how does it feel to be the third person voted off?
I would say heartbreaking and humbling. Going in, like, no one expects to go home that early. Like, Lydia, I'm sure she expected to have a target on her back, and it was a possibility. Kevin maybe, but like for me, I didn't super consider it. I was like, there's like nothing I could do that would like screw me up that bad. But obviously, if you're a mess, you're gonna get some messy results. So,
Mess is one way to describe it. So let's start with the beginning of the episode, where unfortunately Kevin left, the first RA to fall, and soon followed. I mean, we see that you decide to out Gabby of being a fake Survivor Syracuse fan. She just started watching the season.
That is true.
Yeah, she hadn't watched any episodes of Syrvivor Syracuse at all, and then even being cast for season 3, she was actually filling in a spot, and she was fully new to the Survivor franchise, so she like burned 3 seasons before the premiere of season 3 was filmed. So
very impressive, honestly.
Yeah,
got it done.
Yeah, it does show. We have a lot of college survivors where there's people that probably never heard of the show and they do well in it. I mean, the winner of your season never seen Survivor.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that was I think that set the precedent for Survivor Syracuse, and even coming on to an all-star season, it's like we all had our preconceived notions of each other. Most people watched or knew of season 1. Season 2 just came out. Season 3 was the only one unreleased, but all the rumors are spreading, so it's like people had preconceived notions of everyone. So
I'm really sure you've heard of the infamous fake idol incident of season 3.
Yeah, the Madison's villain edit.
Yes.
I don't know if Luke had anticipated how big Madison's hero edit was going to be season 3, just how she played, but the fake idol thing was enough to
put her on the villains tribe. Did you expect to be on the villains?
Yes, because like if you watch season 1, like week 1, it was me and Valentina especially, like we wanted to make the chaos. We were here to play Survivor, and like I was there to win, but like we were there first and foremost to make good TV. And for the Survivor Syracuse premiere, we made an alliance with Jake and Molly. We were ready to flip on Jake and Molly, vote Jake out, and then we had to recover. It was we were very messy, and I thought it could have been a hero because they ended up getting the best of me in the end and like blindsiding me, but I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
And, you know, I
Villains have
wanted
more
to
fun
win.
anyway.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Villains do have more fun. This is true. A
Yeah.
cast.
Who wants to be a hero? All you'll get is just safety for the first 3 episodes.
Yeah,
Who
what's
needs
that?
that?
Yeah, speaking of safety and the challenge, before that starts, Luke decides to pull a classic season 2 twist and bring in a new player, the winner of Maryland season 14. Spoiler alert, don't watch the episode. Psych, it's just a season 5 contestant that we will have to look forward to waiting to see.
The gag. Yes.
Did you guys actually believe, like, oh, the Maryland 14 winner is joining your season?
I did personally. I thought that was a very Luke thing to do.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, we're rolling with the punches here. Let's go.
Literally.
Yeah,
For that
I was
brief-
watching.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
I was saying for that brief like 10 seconds where he like said it and he like walked over to us. I think we were all absolutely gagged. And I mean, I believed it numbers wise. I was like, yeah, we just lost 2. It's all stars.
That's true.
I don't
Let's bring somebody from a different college.
Yeah. Allegedly.
I was sitting there thinking, did he seriously just spoil Maryland 14? And then my next thought was, did Maryland even film 14 seasons?
The answer, I don't know.
I don't
so.
think so. I know they have their 8th one is unreleased at some point, but I don't think they have 14 yet.
They're
They're
definitely
known for-
high. It's in the teens. So
Yeah, they're
I
definitely
believe
high.
it.
They're almost on their 10th one. And they are known for like backtracking it. Like their most recent one was like filmed 4 or 5 years ago, and it was only released last year. Don't watch it; it's not a good season.
Oh no.
Okay,
no
in my
college survivor shade. We love all seasons.
we love all college survivors. It's just not my personal favorite,
Okay.
or personal mid. So we find out. So we find out that the challenge is early tribe superlatives on Final 18. Never done before. We're getting a lot of firsts. So it's a superlatives challenge, but you guys have to you guys are answering for the other tribe, and then the other tribe has to guess what you guys think, and vice versa. So their villains are answering questions for the heroes, like which hero it shouldn't be a hero. That's not one of the questions, sadly. And the heroes had to yeah, which hero should be a villain. And let's say you guys voted Holly for some reason. And then the heroes had to guess which hero the villains thought should be a villain. So they say Cassidy.
Thrown off. I see you.
Sorry to the RAs. They're just the first people in my head because that's the only name you hear whenever the heroes are talking. It's either Holly or Cassidy or Austin.
That's true. They are very present in the edit, and I think they're doing a lot of behind the scenes work, but I'm sure we'll get to that.
Yeah. And whoever gets the most points win. Apparently, villains have the statistical advantage. I'm not a maths expert, so I don't understand. Or either of you.
I didn't understand. I was definitely regurgitating what other people on the team said, but it was like because there were less of us, there was a better chance for us to guess who the heroes voted for us, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's like you guys had less options than the heroes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's go through some of the superlatives. Some of you both managed to gain the most votes in some of them. And Madison is somebody that the villains most want to work with.
Yeah, that was a big surprise.
You are also the one that's writing the coattails.
Yes.
Which I'm sure you're used to by now. Paul is the biggest social threat.
Yes.
And most likely to win. I think that one's a bit wrong.
Oh.
I don't know
they were
why.
saying most likely if I were to make it. So, you know.
Yeah.
Right?
If he was to make it. Some other one. I took note here who else got votes. I see Paul as somebody vote with you as on the outs. Madison, you're somebody that was voted to be carried. Both of you were voted on somebody that needs to go.
True. That is true.
All
So,
of us did.
so you two are loved by the heroes, but not as much as our fan favorite Hannah Dolan, who is
That's-
just all on the heroes' mind.
Mhm.
So the heroes hate Hannah pretty much.
yeah. She's such a
It's a
actor.
strong word.
Yeah. I think they
Doesn't
were
want
frightened
her
of
in the
her.
doesn't want her
Intimidated.
in the game. Intimidate. That's probably the best word to describe her, because none of the heroes are specific. I can't say the word specifically. People that Hannah was ever close with on their season. Maybe Mitch for the one vote they had together,
That's true.
and then everyone else was just like. And you guys said season 2 just came out, and Hannah was a big season 2 player,
Yeah.
even though she got flipped out.
Huge impact.
Yeah, I mean, when I first watched season 2, and it just immediately goes to some girl being like, I have 20 fake idols. I'm going to, and it was like 2 weeks before Survivor began. I'm going to hide these. I made fake clues. I was like, who is this girl? And please tell me she makes it far.
She made it. She made her mark. Immediately.
Yeah, she made her mark in 5 episodes on most people can't do in 20.
Absolutely.
I'd argue she made more of a mark than some of the people who made Merge that season. So
Some, most, half. Who can tell?
You can tell.
Yeah. So some people weren't happy with what they got. I don't think either of you are happy with, like, well, I'm sure one of you is happy with, like, oh, with your superlatives. Like, yeah, they're positive. I could win, but that's like target. And then, oh no, they think I'm carried. That means I'm not a threat.
Yeah, I mean, I think my emotions with that one is I got a similar one season 3, and I was kind of in a different position. Also, it doesn't make sense that people wanna work with me, but also think that I'm being carried. I think that doesn't make a lot of sense, but it was definitely interesting to see that I got the most votes for both of those, because I was like, "Yes, people wanna work with me." I finally got a positive superlative, and then I got the normal one, so it was just like an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, it's like, Madison, you are the most carried. Yeah, I know that already. Go on about how the heroes want to work with me.
Yeah.
And then Paul's probably used to hearing like how social he is.
I mean, I coming in, I knew it was my biggest strength, but coming into the game, I also wanted to keep my connections on the DL, especially like I was on season 1, helped film season 2, so I knew most people pretty well. And then season 3, I also helped film and produce, and I got Cassidy, Kevin, and Holly all on the cast. And in hindsight, filming season 3, I was like chatting with everyone, like, yeah, oh my god, like I'm an RA with them, like I know all of them, but I didn't realize like Lydia and Madison would be listening and holding that against me on All Stars.
Yeah, that RA alliance was definitely a big threat in season 3, and they managed to get to top 8.
True.
Too bad they couldn't continue with this season.
You know,
Well, on the villain side at least. We don't know about the heroes.
That's true.
Yeah, Paul, you got like every hero's vote on the most social threat, bar one.
and Madison got the other one. So
Yeah, there we
got
go.
the socialites.
I wonder who that other vote was.
Definitely Jason.
Yeah.
Definitely.
100%.
Yeah. Also, I want to say the episode title, when I first saw it, I immediately said, this is a line Gabby said.
Wow.
I don't know what the situation is. I just know that she's most likely the one that says it.
And you were
And
right.
I was correct.
Yeah,
Nice.
absolutely.
Yeah, I was pushed because I also helped edit. Sabrina from season 3 is our lovely editing directress. She's awesome. I was also pushing for Hannah says dead girl walking, and I was like, that's pretty thematically relevant, I feel, but dumb bitch alert. From
Yeah.
Gabby, nothing like it.
Yeah. Shout out to Sabrina for editing the season.
True. The whole
So
editing.
after the superlatives, it ends up in a tie. So the tiebreaker is the two people that are voted to flip. They're seeing how well the tribe knows them and have to break a tiebreaker. They both have to answer the same question. Who on the villains do you want gone? Who on the heroes you want gone? Eli goes first. He says he wants Hannah and Austin gone. Apparently, you guys didn't know the Hannah hatred, so you just guessed. Might as well just say Sneak Me Brim.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody knew Austin. Austin was a little worried.
Mm-hmm.
Then it came to the villains, and Madison answering who she wanted gone from the heroes and villains. Heroes, obviously, she said Holly, because it's the name on everyone's mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And then villains, she said, I would rather see Paul go.
Yes, this is true. And that was a mistake. And honestly, what I was trying to do there is I thought the heroes were going to be the ones to guess. So I was trying to trip them up a little bit because I thought it was pretty clear that I didn't have the best relationship with Gabby. And I was trying to trip up the heroes, but it backfired because the villains were the people who had to guess. And technically, I feel like my alliance members probably should have known because I think because it was known that Gabby was like close to Abby and Abby was close to Jack, and there were a lot of interconnecting relationships there. Paul was kind of on the outside of that, at least from my perspective. And I think my allies should have known on the low, but it's all right.
I think, yeah, like looking at their reaction, I think like Gabby was like so overly like, it's gotta be me. Like, it's gotta be me. And everyone's laughing. And I'm like, yeah, it has to be you, obviously. And like, obviously Owen knew that I was one of your options. And I guess Abby and Hannah and Abby and Jack knew. But I think I don't like I had Jake leaning on me, and like I guess that's, and Hannah, maybe Hannah, even if they knew I was one of your options, everyone's probably like, it's got to be Gabby.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think everyone was thinking like Paul in the back of their heads was like, I don't think she'd say that. That'd be too incriminating. Let's just go with the obvious answer and go with Gabby. Yeah. It's not like Gabby constantly says, let's get out Madison every 5 minutes.
I love it. It's so funny.
Yeah. Let's take out Madison. Okay, yeah, and... So sadly with that I don't know the word. Sadly with that, the heroes lose a third challenge, and once again we're losing somebody good.
Yeah. The villains, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I should make it obvious I'm a villain stan.
Yes, as you should be. As everyone should be.
It's obvious all fans are, and then like if you say you're a hero stan, like you're just trying to be different.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're either trying to be different or you're friends with somebody on the Heroes tribe.
Facts.
As is their main gameplay tactic.
True.
Yes. Everybody wants to play with their friends because it's what? RuPaul's best friend race. And that's what it is on the Heroes tribe, because all of them just want to be friends with each other. Yeah. Except for Jason, who just wants to, I don't know, throw Holly down a flight of stairs or something.
Jason goes at Holly, and I had no idea. No one had any idea, really. And I guess Luke, who was watching these vlogs, was the only one who really knew, because he didn't even really tell me about this. And watching that, I'm like, there was beef there.
Yeah, he blames Holly for him leaving. But isn't that more Mike's fault?
Yeah.
If I remember correct. Well, to be fair, the season wasn't out yet, so I don't think Jason knew fully.
That's true.
Technically, I mean, it was Mike. It's no one person's fault. Like the running joke is like Jason voted himself out, but Holly's the one. She checked with Jason, like we're good to vote.
Sabrina.
We're good to vote Sabrina, and Mike was the one orchestrating this blind side of Holly, and then he just had to tell Jason and did it. So,
yeah,
a lot of factors.
It's like everyone really wanted Holly gone, but Jason was the one that left.
Yeah,
it's one of my favorite things to rewatch.
Yeah, it's cool.
Just of how chaotic it is.
And then the damage control when she's still in.
I mean, they still worked with her.
I guess, but I don't know why.
That question still remains to this day. So, after superlatives, it's pretty much confirmed. Everybody hates Hannah. That's a hero.
It's a strong word, but they're definitely...
Everyone's intimidated by Hannah.
Yeah,
everyone's intimidated by Hannah. Yeah, like, she is a backstabbing, manipulative
Yeah, they
bitch.
definitely have that conception. Like... crazy.
I think it also stems from the boring syndrome that all the heroes suffer from just by nature. Like
True.
they
It
saw
clashes.
Hannah, who is here to be a personality, here to like make drama, and they were worried about that.
I'm so happy Paul's here because I was rewatching the last one and I kept thinking maybe I'm being a bit too mean to the heroes. Keep calling them boring. Then I watched this episode and I was like, no, I'm not wrong.
Yeah. We're all boring sometimes, but like
Yeah, it's just
heroes, we just need them to lose a challenge. I'm like begging them, you know.
yeah. Maybe if they lose a challenge, they might be more entertaining. We'll probably get more Holly slander from some people.
Maybe.
Yeah, and it's kind of revealed that Jason's kind of making the same mistake as last season with not talking with anyone. It seems like he's only there for challenges, not very much of a social person, or he's more I stick to like my group of people, and that's very much it.
Right.
And all the heroes want to work with Carl. I think every hero said Carl's like, oh yeah, Carl and I are good. Me and Carl in alliance. I like Carl. So he's definitely like the center point of the heroes.
Maybe. I definitely think he's stepping up his social game. I think that was not that he had a bad social game in season 3, but I think he's definitely stepped it up in that he's trying to get to know more people. He's had more time for sure, but I think the number of people he has a strong relationship with is a lot more than he had in season 3, and that could be a really good base moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and his first time around, like he had the numbers on the Mind Tribe, but I think he had everyone working together. Like him, Lydia, and Molly were each their own tight little pack trying to orchestrate things. And this time around, it just seems like he's gotten in well with everyone on his entire team. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting in a tribal situation or if a swap ever happens. Which he says, it looks like these heroes can all stick together. Hopefully Jason and Holly won't end up on the same tribe and that may stick.
True.
So enough about the heroes. Let's talk about the villains. And we start off with a villain party.
Yeah.
Everyone's going out. Hannah finished a bucket list item on partying with the villains, not the heroes. Jesus. Imagine if that was a
We
thing.
want to do that.
Yeah, who would want to do that? Absolutely.
Yeah, who want to party with heroes?
But that was really fun. And I think for the most part, game was not even spoken there. And I think it was just a good break from the game because we kept on losing people, we kept on losing challenges, and it was an effort to build camaraderie and like get better.
Yeah, we just needed one night to like all be in a room together and like get a little intoxicated. We're all over 21.
Yes.
So
yes. Drink responsibly.
We all drink responsible. You're from Ireland, right? So
yes. So over here it's just 18.
That is a blessing.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Irish, Madison, your tribe in the charity stream, check it out. The amount of times I was like frustrated, like they're pronouncing it wrong.
How do you pronounce it?
Okay, I don't know how to pronounce the sail one, but the fire word, it's pronounced tine, not teen.
Okay.
Does it really mean fire and life?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah. Awesome. Yes, we got that.
It was funny to me how it like worked as a pun for saltine, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, because it sounds like salty or saltine.
Mm-hmm. Love that.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Irish, I guess.
Yes. Shout out to
yeah. Survivor doesn't exist over here, so this
but
is my
make it a thing.
You're the
start of it.
Coming next week, Survivor College Ireland.
Yes.
No reason why not. I would love to hear some Irish drama.
Oh my gosh, I would love that.
It's just people shouting at each other.
Sometimes you need that.
And that's them getting along. So after the villain party, we get introduced. Now, I don't know if this is a fact, but I like the alliteration. We get introduced to Hangover Hannah.
No.
No, I don't know if she was hangover. I just find it funny if she was.
No, that's good.
And she goes off of how paranoid she is. She talks about how Gabby's the oyster of her own shell and Paul's the political queen.
True.
So, and she doesn't want to vote either of them off, but they're the targets of this week because I guess because they're the people who wanted to keep Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, that's what it was. I mean, I didn't realize it was both of us. I honestly didn't even fully comprehend that we were on the outs. I just thought, like, week 1, we all got on the same page with Lydia. Cool. Week 2, it was the Kevin Madison clash, because Madison was the name that he ultimately went with, for better, for probably worse, definitely worse.
Yeah.
So my thinking, coming off of week 2, obviously I was like one of the only people trying to save Kevin, and I was like, week 1 it was 9 votes Lydia, 1 vote Kevin. Week 2 it was 8 votes Kevin, 1 vote Madison. I was like, guys, like, let's just keep the ball rolling here. Like, let's keep it easy. Let's just go with the next name on the list, and that didn't work. Obviously, that was just the start. And I mean, having my name thrown out by Madison in front of the entire season definitely pushed me for that. But at the same time, like, he saw me, I was like, maybe I can, like, spin this with her and, like, make it work somehow. So
True.
we try. For a little bit.
Yeah. Make an unlikely duo situation.
It could have been. Yeah.
Yeah, like, yeah, you called me out in front of the whole season. Want to work together?
And I think, because I went in, I wanted to work with Paul, but I think it would be stupid for me to, like, not acknowledge, like, who he's close to. So knowing that Paul was close to Holly and Cassidy and Kevin, I was just like, does he really want to work with me? Or is he trying to, like, wiggle in and have your enemies be closer, So it was a tough to read. Paul is very tough to read, I must say.
And Madison is too. Let me say, I had a blunder last episode, very awesomely throwing out Owen's name just because. I mean,
a blunder.
Let me tell you, I threw out, like, any name possible, like, besides Kevin and Gabby the week before. But it's interesting that the only name that was leaked was me throwing out Owen's name to Madison. And this round, I was trying to rebuild my trust with Madison, after she threw my name out. And I was chatting with her, and she was like, yeah, I'm open to it. I wouldn't want to work with you. And I was like, cool. And I was, like, trying to, like, get more out of Madison. But you just, like, wouldn't give me, like, the validation that, like, I was used to hearing from everyone else.
Oh,
so
no.
That's why I blurted out, oh, by the way, like, trying to build more trust. Like, I got this idol clue week 1 and went with Hannah. And that led to the spiral, but Madison is a tough cookie to crack, let me say.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Now that you bring it up, what idol clue did you find?
It was the week 1 after Holly and Cass had already found it. Can I curse on this stream?
Yeah, it's common knowledge that they have it.
No, can I curse? Like,
oh yeah, go ahead.
All right. So this was after they had found the idol. Those fucking snakes come into my room to hang out, because, like, we all lived in the same building because we were RAs. And they were like, oh, we got the idol clue. We were looking for it. I was at Kimball. I don't know. And I was like, oh, could I see the idol clue? And Holly was like, yeah, sure. Obviously not caring at fucking all if I looked at it. And then I looked at it, and then I, like, thought I was clever. I, like, wrote it down, like, really sly, like for reference later, and then used it. But those liars.
Smart of you. I didn't even think about that. That they gave it to you after they had found that. That's crazy.
They didn't tell you that they had the idol?
No, and I mean, would I have told them? Probably not. But, like, they knew Kevin's name was on the block week 2, and they could have saved him.
They could have.
And if they used it on Kevin or gave it to Kevin, like, they would have gotten their biggest enemy, Madison.
Yeah,
so
that's
like,
true.
What are you dolls doing? But it would have, long term, it's super dumb for them to give us the idol on our side, because obviously it's like, who else on the hero team would give it to us?
Yeah.
So I guess creds to them.
Clicking through everyone. Yeah, no one.
A little behind the scenes about trying to get the idol clue from the heroes is I tried to get the idol clue from Jason, but I don't know if he was attempting to lie to me or if he just didn't know, but he was just like, there is no idol clue. And I was like, okay, perfect. Thanks. Bet. Never mind.
Knowing Jason, I think he probably forgot. I mean, not knowing him.
Or, I only know so much about his gameplay because I haven't really played with him, but he could have been lying to Madison, just
He could have
keeping
been.
his cards to his chest.
Could have been his character arc.
Maybe he's a lot more sneakier than the edit is making us believe.
Yeah.
He could be the mastermind for all we know.
Jason the villain?
Maybe. Tune in to find out.
Yeah.
So that seems to be the common name. Paul, Gabby, mostly Paul. They're deciding to split the votes because they're afraid of an idol. Abby hates boys, so she's going to vote for Paul instead.
Okay.
Girl after my own heart.
I mean, yeah, same bestie, but like.
Yeah. And thanks to Paul's little spillage of Hannah, everyone's so sus of Hannah. So it's like, how can you go on an idol hunt with someone outside of our alliance before we even made this alliance?
I know.
Because that's what I was thinking. Like, Jack said that you guys went hunting day one. Is that right? You and Hannah went idol hunting around the first day?
I guess it was day one, night 1 or 2, probably. It was that Sunday, I'm pretty sure, yeah. Wow. And I mean, could you blame me? Like, coming into the game, like, obviously everyone has their pre-existing connections. Like, I was voted most ties, but, like, I wanted to make new connections, and what better new connection than to go idol hunting with the idol queen herself? Like, I mean, Madison's the season 3 idol queen, but honestly, like, they're trying to keep talking the season 3 idols for me because there were so many and I didn't watch all the vlogs.
Right.
But I had to go with Hannah, and sorry, Jake. What?
He was salty.
Yeah, Jake's salty, but I think he was just jealous. Like, cause sorry, I'm not.
It's like, Paul's supposed to be my best friend, not Hannah's.
Exactly.
Maybe it would have been smarter to go with him, but like, Hannah Dolan, guys.
You have to.
Literally. And we were very dead wrong about where it was. Like, we were like, it can't be at Kimmel. They already looked there. So we were looking at some other dorm, and
the effort was there. You could have, in theory.
Yeah. Maybe the second idol was also at the Amanda Kimmel building. Finally, somebody noticed. Yeah, so it's just a lot of paranoia going around. Everyone's saying Paul, and then Hannah's sus, but it is. And then Paul comes here saying, we're going to blindside Jake. Where did that come from?
Okay, so it was a very hectic week. I think, I don't want to say my fate was already sealed the round before, like, just being too snaky too soon. Because I could have, like, saved myself this week. After the challenge, I was talking to Madison. I was like, hey, threw my name out. We can work together. And Owen was there. I was like, we can make something work. I was chatting with Jake. He was like, we can make something work. I talked to Madison. I talked to Gabby that night. And she's like, we should go with Madison. And I was like, we can try, girl, but like, I don't know. So I tried the Madison thing with Jake. He wasn't having it. I was chatting with Jack and Abby, and I was considering Abby because I knew she was away for the weekend. And we're villains. Like, let's if someone's not showing up, let's go for it. But
shake her out when she doesn't expect it, or even in the right
literally.
places.
But she was. I also realized that she had a better social network of connections on the team than me, so I wasn't in the position to take her down. And Jake was really just my last. Me going for Jake, that was after I leaked my idol info to Madison, and I heard the mess was going on. Hannah called me crying or whatever, that I threw her under the bus. So me pushing for Jake was like my last ditch, like, okay, like, I am fried. Like, I don't know. Like, the Hannah thing, I can't. I didn't want to get rid of Hannah or Gabby, my 2 pre-merge queens. They deserve so much more. So they were out of question for me. Madison was out of the question, wasn't possible. Abby was half in the question, half out of the question. And that was Jack and Jake. Should I go for Jack? If this is my last chance to, like, make a move and get someone out? Or should I try and vote out the person who voted me out and go for Jake? And maybe that was the wrong call, but like, Jake Snake Niebuhr, like, people underestimate how honest he is and how loyal and how good of an ally he is, but he's a snake in the end. So I guess I was a snake up front, you know.
I even said this in the last podcast. It's like, why aren't they targeting Jake? Like, you targeted the winner. Isn't the next threat like the person who almost won their season?
Beats me. That was something
Okay.
I was concerned about.
Something you were concerned about and something you definitely had a clamp on. And I know that Jake had a clamp on you. He was not letting you go that week 2 either. So
Right.
Yeah, they had a final tribal council alliance. Only
That's
a select few can have that.
yeah.
That was
Congrats.
Yeah.
Not jealous at all.
oh my God.
Yeah. So after all that, unfortunately, Paul, you were voted off in a 4-2 vote. You finally voted for Jake after all this time. You never voted for him at all in season 1, and he voted for you twice.
I did vote for him to win.
Yes, the one time you vote for him and he did not get the majority.
Yeah.
I like the callback to you drawing the snake.
Thank you. You know, I just one last reminder, like, do not trust this man. He is a snake.
Yeah. And Madison, now Gabby has a reason to not like you now that you actually wrote her name down.
She already thought that I had wrote her name down, even though I had technically written Holly the week that she went home in season 3. And I feel like it was just common knowledge that there was little to nothing I could do. So at that point, I was just like, send it. When we were deciding who would vote who, I was just like, I saw Abby be hesitant. I was just like, I'll vote Gabby. I'll do it.
She already thinks I voted for her. Might as well make it a reality this time.
Yeah. Behind the scenes, T, I don't know if honestly anyone really knew that Madison was the vote for Holly season 3, because from production side, like, I don't remember if like Luke was in the voting room. Like, no one ever told us. And our chatter and thought was that it was just Jason, like, out of the loop week 1 voting for Holly. But looking back, great move on Madison's part, and could have been even greater if she played it up with Gabby this season. The stars never aligned for that.
Yeah.
I was trying to mend the bridge. I was like, just be friends. And
just lock them in a room together for like hours, like that
Maybe I
iCarly
should've.
thing.
Oh God, what could have been? What could have been?
What could have been? We could have had a Maddie Gabby alliance.
Yeah.
So, Paul, what was that speech at the end that you were trying to say?
So if you were astute and checked the comments, I did include a link to the video. If you're familiar with Flavor of Love,
Oh, New York.
the reality, yes. So it's The Bachelor, but The Bachelor is Flavor Flav.
Yeah,
Highly
I've seen a
recommend.
few seasons.
Yeah, it's like a parody of The Bachelor. It's over the
It's so
top
dumb.
camp, hilarious. And then you have New York Pollard, who is Tiffany Pollard, who is one of the greatest reality TV personalities of all time. I'm praying she's on Celebrity Big Brother this season, but who knows?
We can hope.
And yeah, I had that little paragraph of a speech like in my notes, like pre-planned on my way to the vote out. I was like, I'm trying to memorize it, trying to have it all down, because it's true. Like, y'all voted me out because I might be a fucking bitch to the heart, but at least I don't smile on all these girls' faces. Like, everyone knew I was a snake and like didn't care. So wanted to call everyone out, but I couldn't even remember the whole shebang.
It was still very entertaining to watch, and I remember just thinking, what an exit.
Thank you.
Incredible.
Yeah. And as I was walking up to like get my torch snuffed or throw my buff in, I was like, oh, so y'all voted the gay Jew out, huh? Off the villains tribe? Because, you know, queers and Jews, like, we just have an association with being the villain. And I was just shook that they would even think to get rid of me. But like, that they're bigger villains than me for that.
I just heard gay and I was like, oh shit, they did just vote off the 2 gay lads, and now there's just a whole bunch of straights left.
Well, I don't know if Kevin's gay or any, no label, TBD, whatever.
Sorry about that.
All good, but yeah, I mean, yeah, Lydia, Kevin, me, it's like, who, like, y'all are voting off the coolest people. Like, what's the strategy? I don't know.
And then once again, you give the villains the biggest insult by calling them boring.
shook us to the core. 100%.
Yeah, that's right. The heroes aren't the only ones.
Heroes aren't the only boring tribe on the season.
Yeah.
After watching it, I was thinking, wow, this guy really is not good at like exit speeches because his last one was like way too vague.
Yeah, that very vague. Because season 1, I'd say my fatal flaw was
Trusting.
taking too much of a step back because I was just so busy, like being an RA and doing other things on campus. I thought I had a good enough spot and connections with my alliance, but obviously I was ready to backstab them. Obviously, they were ready to backstab me. This time around, I was just over the top, too messy, too villainous. They couldn't even handle it, and
We
me
could.
calling them
You're right.
boring was it was a combination of delusion, but also like
Look,
we live from the bone, like
we live for a delusional queen.
like yeah, Valentina of the my inspiration, Valentina. Yeah.
One final question: do you think voting off Molly Lepetsky third boot was the real reason you went home? And if you just never have done that, you'd still be into this day.
You know, season 1 would have played out super different if we didn't vote out Molly. And I spent the past semester in LA, and Jake Niebuhr actually moved out to LA, so I got to hang out with him. Owen spent this semester in LA, so I really got to mend my friendship with the two of them. And Molly was also there, so all these people that I came for, turns out they're super cool and like funny and great to hang out with. So maybe if I didn't flip on Molly so soon, things would have been different, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
What? These people who lie, backstab, manipulate in a game are actually decent people? Never thought of it.
It's you really forget in the moment. It's so weird.
Yeah, you just think everyone is just like horrible.
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah, no, it's like Hannah Dolan isn't actually a bitch.
Oh gosh. Yeah, she's amazing. Happy belated birthday yesterday to Hannah Dolan.
Birthday shout out.
Mm-hmm.
Happy birthday, Hannah. I did ask to see if she wanted to be on this podcast, and I never got a response, and I kind of now know why. She's probably too busy celebrating her life.
True. Yeah, easy.
So that's the end of episode 3. We're on to episode 4 next week. It looks like things are about to get a lot crazier. Paul, do you have any last words to the villains that voted you off?
I think I made it pretty clear how I felt, and my last words to them were well chosen. You know, my last words would be y'all made the right move, because I would have flipped on any and every one of them, any opportunity possible. So definitely the right move. I just wish, you know, like give us a flip episode 3, like give the fans some crazy unexpected stuff, and maybe if I kept myself together, maybe that would have happened. So I'm just not going to put all the blame on myself. I'm going to put some blame on y'all.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, valid.
Madison, you have any final words for Paul in his parting ways of Survivor Syracuse?
I just want to pay, like, respect to how entertaining of a character you are, Paul, and I think you bring so much, both from a production standpoint and also as a cast member, to Survivor Syracuse from the very beginning. So much kudos for
that. Is so sweet, Madison. And the way my perception of you has evolved from like Holly, Cass, and Kevin are the ones like giving me all the tea on season 3, and I'm like, who the hell is Matt? Who does she think she is? To oh, she's actually like a very fierce game player who knows what she's doing and is actually very sweet on the surface and like deep down actually, and she's not just a villainous interior. Like, okay. And thank you for your contributions as well, Madison. Really helped us on the editing team season 3, and it's been great to work with her. And Big Girl has a big girl editing job in the real world post grad. So, Bob on that.
Thank you.
Woo! Well, thanks, Paul, for joining us, and thanks for being the first person of my draft pick to go home. So I'm now down to 3 people.
Thank you for having me. I'd love to disappoint anyone who has faith in me.
Thanks also, Madison, for joining and for still being in.
Thank you.
And thanks to all the viewers who are watching. If you want to see anything Survivor Syracuse, follow the YouTube channel, follow the socials, join the Survivor Reddit Discord. There's a Syracuse channel. A reminder, the charity stream link is still in the link below if you want to donate and watch this Survivor mini. There is a ton of mess. If you thought this episode was messy, this mini is also messy. Messy mini. For more live reality game shows content, subscribe to the channel, follow the Facebook group, follow all the socials, and we will see you next week for Survivor Syracuse Heroes vs. Villains Season 4. Bye, everyone.